Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Today we have a really tricky scenario ahead. This one was sent in by Colonel Ilbrink, one of the Patreon naval architects. We're going to be trying to not kill ships, sort of. It is September 1941 and England, having been turned to rubble by the Blitzkrieg, has fallen to the might of the Luftwaffe and Nazi Germany. With the conquest of Europe now complete, Hitler has tasked the former Royal Navy with guarding the waters of the North and Mid-Atlantic from possible US incursion. Hitler's next move is sending the majority of the Kriegsmarine to the Arctic to seize control of the naval base and adjacent air base in Severomorsk. Meanwhile, the remainder of the Kriegsmarine will join up with the Regia Marina and push through the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov towards Stalingrad. Once Stalingrad and Severomorsk have been captured, both forces will join up with the German army on the Eastern Front in a three-way pincer maneuver to capture and control Moscow. The United States, which has abstained from involvement in the war so far, now finds itself thrust into the war as the last hope for the world, and feels that the best chance of stopping the Axis powers from complete and total domination is to first liberate England and the Royal Navy, which is currently under German high command. Unfortunately, this means the Royal Navy, while needed, must be severely weakened, but not completely destroyed, as surviving British ships will be escorted to US naval bases for repairs and needed later to help destroy the Kriegsmarine. All German sailors and officers found will be held as prisoners of war. Right, so what he wants me to do: severely damage and or destroy at least 18 out of 25 Royal Navy ships, but keep at least one of each, battleship, heavy cruiser and light cruiser, alive. Severe damage means reduce structural integrity to below 50%. Sinking all Royal Navy battleships, heavy cruisers or light cruisers will result in failure. Now, fortunately, to some extent, I'm fighting the British, because the British only get the N3G3 hull, at least in the current version of the game, and that means that they don't actually get access to a super battleship. So this makes it slightly more doable. Now, I have already tried this scenario once. Unfortunately, I misread it, and at that point I was fighting the Germans. The Germans do have access to super battleships, so I was tasked with my own 3 battleships to sink 4 German super heavy battleships, which happen to have maximum bulkheads, super survivability, loads of torpedo blisters, and to top it all off, 12 20-inch guns. So I suppose you can figure out just about how well that went. Then I contacted Mr. Ilbrink about the scenario, and he said, well, actually, it's supposed to be fighting the British, which makes sense, as I'm fighting the Royal Navy. So, we should not see a super heavy battleship, and because of that, I'm actually feeling, well, confident is a stretch, but I'm feeling a bit more comfortable with giving the AI control to build the battleship. Because, as Ilbrink said it, I can gain bonus points for building the heavy cruiser. The heavy cruiser, however, has some limitations. It has a maximum of 28 tons, 28,000 tons. It's supposed to cost no more than 75 million per ship, 38 knot speed, main armament 8 to 12 inches and secondary 4 or 5. Range very long, as the ships must be able to cross the Atlantic twice, as only home soil is guaranteed as friendly. No time limit, so as soon as the wind conditions are met, make note of all the surviving British ships. Checking enemy ship health often will be advantageous. After that, so after the wind condition is met, feel free to openly engage. So basically, once I have the conditions met, I can still sink them anyway. There is one thing that I'm going to slightly tune about this scenario, which says severe damage. Reduce structural to below 50%. I'm also going to say that 50% buoyancy is enough. So if a ship has been severely flooded, and, well, we've seen just how much the AI is capable of pumping ships dry, I don't really expect them to live up to that, but hey-ho. So structural integrity 50% or buoyancy 50% considers the ship heavily damaged. Of course, the AI doesn't. The AI is going to continue to use that ship. It's just that I have to keep really careful track of my ships so as to ensure that they don't accidentally open up on them. Now, nothing is said about the survivability of destroyers. So I have to keep at least one battleship, one heavy cruiser and one light cruiser alive. And I have to destroy and or damage, severely damage, that is 18 out of 25. So there are supposedly a lot of casualties. Yeah, I was expecting this. Too many ships may affect performance significantly. Apparently this is already something that the game considers heavy, or lots of ships. Now, let's start with the basics. Tonnage no more than 28,000. Well, with a heavy cruiser hull, I can only really go to 21, so that's not a problem. Range long. Let's focus on survivability. Gear turbines, oil, forced boilers. A bit of an auxiliary engine would be a boost. Krupp, armor, anti-torp 2, considering that they do have a load of destroyers. Let's go for a double bottom hull, and I'll maximum it out, or at least I'll tune it as much as I can. Rangefinder, radar. I'm considering putting torpedoes on it, but I'm not sure yet. And loaders, let's go for at least semi-auto. Alright, a main tower. More or less amidships. Secondary tower attached to that. Now, I have already built this cruiser. So I'm going to go with the build progress in a slightly more fast manner. Jesus. Engine efficiency is 83%, which is about as good as it can get. This is 3 of these smokestacks. I could also do... No, actually I can't. This one doesn't fit here. I could put it between the 2 towers, but... Well, I don't find that to be a very neat design. You'd have something like this. I just think it looks weird. I could, however, use that space to put some torpedo launchers here. So, yeah, actually, why not? Centerline guns. I'm relying on my battleships to do damage against their battleships. So that means my heavy cruisers just have to have enough punch to deal with their heavy cruisers and light cruisers. And in order to accomplish that feat, I think 8-inch guns are sufficient. 9-inch guns are probably overkill. And while they're overkill for heavy cruisers and light cruisers, they're underwhelming when used against battleships. So we're going to go for 8-inch, and we're going to go for triple barrel. One here, and one here. Aft weight offset is pretty high. Can I move this up? Yeah, there we go. Oh. That's not great. Right. So I'd have to move this thing forward. But I cannot move that funnel further forward. Although I can put one over there. This is 75. No, I can do better than that. Still 2.5%. There we go, 0.6. Now, what I also figured, and this is a bit unusual, these super flying tall barbettes allow you a lot of bonuses, or rather a lot of nice stats, for relatively little effort. This thing has only 84-ton weight and 75,000 cost. If you compare that to, for example, the medium barbette, it's 258 tons, so that's 3 times the weight and 2 times the price. I don't think that these things are properly priced yet. They feel too cheap to me. Now, you could argue that I don't need a barbette here, and you'd be absolutely right. But I might want to have one anyway, so I can put some secondaries next to it. And considering that there are destroyers and also light cruisers to be had, they could come in quite handy. Slight for weight offset now. 0.6, 0.2. Firing arc is really good on this turret. Firing arc on this turret is also really good. Only this one is not as good, but still, I'm not complaining. Now, if I were to put torpedo launchers over here, that's a decent enough arc, but I would have to show a lot of broadside in order to launch torpedoes. If I was to put the torpedo launchers here, it'd be an entirely different story. Because from here we have a really good firing arc, even so much as extending almost full forward. So I'm going to put the torpedo tubes there. I'm going to make these... what am I going to make these? I need to cripple the battleship, not completely blow it out of the water. The same for light cruisers, the same for heavy cruisers. So a 24-inch torpedo is probably going to be overkill, especially against the smaller ships. Let's go for electric runners. 12.7 kilometers only. Oof. See, that's not great when you're targeting battleships. This is okay, but the torpedo visibility is minus 50%. Minus 55 or minus 87.5. But it's actually not quite that because I'm not using 18-inch torpedoes, but I'm using 21s. I cannot completely blow a ship out of the water. That's the challenge. I have to try and keep some of the Royal Navy intact. 0.5, 0.1, I'll take it. Now we have a nice amount of secondaries here. That's 15 4-inch guns. And what can I do for assistance here? Super heavy shells. Range 10.3. Range 9.6. So I gained 700 meters. But at the expense of reload. Because my reload goes from 8 to 8.7. So you're gaining less range relative to the amount of reload. Let's just go for normal shells, but I will take an increased complement, because it would not be the first time that I run out of them. Now, turning circle on this ship, 786. It's not great for a heavy cruiser. 773. See, I really like the auxiliary engines overall, because they give you so many bonuses. The same cannot quite be said for the other upgrades that you can get. For example, anti-flooding. It's simply too heavy and too expensive for what I want to do with it. Loaders? No. That would make me 51 tons too heavy. Pushes the reload down to 15.8 instead of 18.8. That's alright, we'll just go without it. Instead, let's armor up the turrets a bit more. Armor up the conning tower quite a bit more. A bit more on the secondaries. And, well, I suppose we can use 7 tons to put 9.5 inches of armor on the conning tower. For weight, I've set 0.1%. Not bad. This is the heavy cruiser of the Rochester class. And we're going to have 5 of these. I only carry 15 torpedoes, though. We'll just have to make it work. I really hope that the AI is kind to me when it comes to designing my ships. Because sometimes you just get terrible stuff. But hey, you play the hand that you're dealt. And I get dealt 20-inch guns. Oh, on super battleships, 102,000 tons, but minimum bulkheads. Something strikes these ships and pens below the waterline, we're gonna have issues. Okay, so 20-inch guns, but can they hit anything? Stereo 4, Generation 2 rangefinder, not bad. Crib 4 armor, Barbette 4 armor, Anti-Torp 5, Anti-Flood 3, Citadel 4, so that's Turtlebuck. Reduced ammo. Cordite 2 explosives. Aux 4 auxiliary engine. Shaft 3. This thing probably turns faster than a heavy cruiser. Well, not too far off. Okay. It's one of those times when I'm not necessarily happy to see 20-inch guns because they hit too hard. If you want to disable / cripple a heavy cruiser or a light cruiser, 20 inch is just too much. So I might have to fall back and rely on the 8-inch guns. Then we have the heavy cruisers. I know those. We have the light cruisers. Springfield, Raleigh, Oakland, Worcester, and Mobile. Where is the Mobile? Hello? Ah, there you are. The Mobile is somewhere off to the side. Survivability, good. Maximum bulkheads, 7-inch guns. Lots of them. It's 15 barrels. Substantial firepower with a scattering of 2-inch guns. Accuracy, Generation 1 radar and Coincidence 3. Only Crypt 3 armor. Okay. We'll make it work. And then the DDs. Creighton, McDougall, Orlek, Haley, Shannon, Sturtevant, and Manley. All the guns. 4-inch, 3-inch, 2-inch, 2-inch, and 2-inch, and torpedoes at 9.8. 20-inch. At least they're not too big, so they don't completely blow a ship to bits. Minimum bulkheads. That's problematic. That's problematic. Now, how's the fleet formatted? We have the battleships in the middle. We have Division 3 set as a scout. Division 2 set as a screen. For Division 1. Yeah, right. We already have a DD and a Columbia here, the heavy cruiser almost ramming each other. Light cruisers are set to follow the battleships, but effectively cannot keep up with it because the battleships travel at 29 at best, and the light cruisers at 26. So the battleships are sticking to 24 knots. Then we have a couple of ships here. Shannon, Sturtevant, and Manley. I'm going to have you join the Mobile. So that's Div 8. Let's see if they can properly merge. No, they cannot. Surprise, surprise. Because what I was hoping would happen was that the Shannon, closest ship to the Mobile, would follow the Mobile, but no joy. No, it decided that the best play was to have the Manley following the Mobile and then everybody else follow the Manley. Makes no sense in my book. You're Div 7, so you need to join Div 7. You need to join Div 7. And you need to join Div 7. So now I'm going to have a sort of scattering of ships here. A light cruiser leading a group of 3 destroyers, if you will. Enemies somewhere over there. We have already eyes on... Oh, sorry, over here. Already eyes on one of them. Triple 15-inch guns. Could be the N3 G3 hull. And I'm seeing a double 8-inch. 2 triple 6s and 22 times 3? Holy shit, don't approach this thing in a destroyer because you're going to be sorry. That is 66 2-inch guns. Okay. Now, before a battle actually commences, I would like to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I noticed that still a lot of you are not subscribed. Maybe you're just getting your first visit to the channel, in which case, welcome aboard. I try and make battleship combat, heavy cruiser combat, destroyer knife fighting and stuff like that look good. Not always equally successfully. Anyway, welcome aboard. Now, the mobile group, we're going to turn around that way. Battleship group that way. Stay at 24 knots, have the light cruisers follow you. I want to have all the heavy cruisers in one formation, so Olympia, Tennessee, and Cambridge. Rochester, I want you to follow that division. Yes, and there's one solo heavy cruiser, that would be the Columbia. Join the heavy cruisers. Right. This is going to be one hunting group. to tackle any and all smaller ships that dare come close. They're going to be very quick. But for now, I don't want them to engage just yet. So we're going to hold off on the torpedo launch until we can spot the rest of the fleet. Orlek, Haley, McDougal, and Drayton turn to port. We're going to scout for the fleet. Of course, the Rochester and the Drayton are going to be jockeying for position here. Good lord, that's loud. Enemy to the north, but we have lost sighting on them. Springfield is following, yep. Let's see where they went. Oh, they can still see me, apparently. Well, I suppose I'm not surprised, considering I'm sailing around in a somewhat large and easy-to-spot battleship. Here we have the average formation fuck-up. Oh, come on. Who's leading this div? Hello? No. No. Why do you... The Shannon is leading the division? No, that simply won't do. I'm going to have to redo the whole division again. Mobile. Shannon. Join the light cruiser group. You join the light cruiser group. And you join the light cruiser group. There. That's how I want my formation to be. Is that so hard? The game would really benefit from having a formatting system or a formation system so you can decide how you want your ships to be aligned before the battle commences. Maybe I should pitch the devs on that again. Now, where the hell are these guys? Because the engagement range started at 20,000 meters, I think. So sure enough, I understand they can see me, but... Ah, there we go. Destroyer group, don't torpedo yet. Not that you're likely to, or that you'd hit anything. Heavy cruiser group more or less in the same direction as the battleships. Oh, they already hit the Ohio. Well, that sucks. Fortunately, it barely did any damage. For now. DD's over here. Holy shit. Could you guys just make an effort? Oh, you're in a loose formation. Mobile. I need you to be, well, less mobile. Drayton, smoke up. So they're now starting to really take an interest in you. Oh, they're coming this way. Alright, job done. What? You have to be fucking kidding me. I was just saying that these battleships don't take that much damage. They only did 3 points of damage. And then disaster struck. Because then a 15-inch shell hit the battleship in the middle of the deck, penetrated, destroying the main gun, putting the whole ship on fire, and effectively detonating the whole warship. Or, well, not so much detonating, but she got a flash fire, so the whole ship suddenly went up. And you can still see the turret popping off there. It's not generally a great start when you're just getting... You just... Look at that. It does make for fancy fireworks, I'll give you that. But this is not quite the way that things were supposed to start. Anyway, we're going to continue. And hope that the other guys don't suffer the same fate. At least we have a sizable amount of guns here. Just not a lot of ammo for them. It's problematic. Hello, are you battleships? Yeah, excellent. Kill. Now the formation is going that way. So I need to instruct my heavy cruisers to do something similar. Just go that way. Look at that. Friendly shots, none. Enemy hits, 8. And they immediately did 6,500 damage. So that's about the hit points that you can expect from a super heavy battleship. Or at least that one. What a fantastic start. Liberating the Royal Navy. Isn't it ironic that it's now the Americans' turn to colonize British warships? So I have to sink 18 of these with 2 battleships versus 4. Oh god, they hit another battleship. At this point, I'm not sure how much I can trust these things not to immediately explode in my face. Damage to the main gun. Oh no. You have a 9-inch belt? What? Yeah, no small surprise that you're getting blown up. If they get another shell through the turret top, and they can, then there is a very good chance that they'll just pop another turret and blow up another battleship. And 15-inch guns are plenty to go through 4.2 inches of turret armor. So they should have absolutely no issues killing off another BB. Smaller guns? Sure. Not less dangerous. Here, bow deck extended. That's another hit. And now they're about to kill the Drayton because she's insta-flooding. Look at her go. She is definitely doing her best, but... oof. Uh-oh. Another partial pen on the battleship. Can we actually land a hit of our own? That would be great. Because I don't need 4 battleships blowing my own battleships out of the water. Oh, they got a 3 and a 1. Right. 24 clicks. I'll take it. Another hit? Look at that. Now, angling doesn't really work, I'm afraid. Because I'm only going to take deck hits regardless of my angle. Shit. Heavy cruisers are moving up right through the enemy or through the friendly formation. What's my range? 21. It's too far. I can't properly torp them. Not with the destroyers, not with the battleships, or not with the heavy cruisers. I can hope that I can do some damage, but they have done 7,000 and I've done 10. So the American Navy is not... oh, there we go. The American Navy is not doing great. 170... was it? Yeah, 128. Not 170, 128. Heavy cruise group. I need you to turn that way. Yeah, you had a run in with the heavy cruiser. Or sorry, with the battleship. And there's the rest of them. Move. Torpedo range. To here. The battleships are over there. We're going to have to turn that way and... well, I would like to step on it, but... the formation is a bit scattered. Why is there one DD over here? Completely overlooked you. Now, normally I'm a big fan of destroyers. And I use them to both scout, hunt, and torpedo. But these DDs have suicide range. 9.8 kilometers. It's not really going to be that much of an issue when you look at it from the perspective of getting close to, well, a battleship. Because I won't get into the range of the 2-inch guns. But it's still a pretty daunting prospect. 9.8 kilometers means that you're going to have to get really close to the rest of the fleet. Ah, the heavy cruisers are engaging. Perfect. Let's turn to port. See if we can fire all the guns. The stern battery is not being used at all. Those battleships have some amazing accuracy. 7.8%. Oh. Oh dear. So it can happen to you too, huh? They flash fired one of mine, and I ammo detonated one of theirs. Well, I guess we won't be able to take that one back. What happened to you? What sort of shells are you firing? High TNT. That's not too volatile. Krupp 3, Barbette 3. Reinforced bulkheads 1. Citadel 5, that's an all or nothing. Heavy shells though. Ah, here we go. Heavy shells, increased ammo for shells. Only Krupp 3 armor. Advanced hydraulic turrets, that's also not really something that boosts your chances. But that, no, that's flash fire chance. Oh well, this guy just got unlucky. Anyway, that's the first of the British ships to go. Not sorry to see it go. I just thought we were targeting something else, actually. So either we had a massive, massive drifting shell, which is unlikely, or we just had the Duke of York selected. Now we're going to target... Sorry, yeah, now we're going to target the Iron Duke. Let's try and get rid of that one. Heavy cruisers, status. Range. 21.8. Okay. Are you guys clear of any other groups? Pretty much. Step on it. We're going to accelerate to 34 knots, and the game is not allowing me to go to flank speed because I'm in a formation. Alright, so that's the first of 25 ships and 18 ships I need to sink. Chance to hit 5%. Now, I need to keep at least one of the battleships alive. Wow, that was a scratch and a half. Can we guys, the heavy cruisers, even pen that? Not really. Understood. The reason why I'm bringing them over here is to see if I can torpedo this group. Because if I can torpedo Dreadnought, or maybe this one, the other ones are also at risk. It's just that we don't send out a large volley. So, we are in range. They should be able to get out of range. Let's see if the torpedo launcher on the port side is willing to do some work. We have enough lead. We should be able to get a torpedo away. At least we've avenged the, was it that detonated the Ohio? No. Anyway, one of the other battleships. Ooh, Iron Duke took a big chunk of damage. Look at that. That was a lot of fires. 341 damage. You didn't even detonate your ammo. You just took a large chunk of damage. Now, I'm going to reiterate what I said before. I can say that a ship is out of action, but the AI doesn't give a shit. So, let's say that I knock the Iron Duke down to 50% structural integrity. Great. She's, for my scores, effectively out of the fight. But the ship doesn't care. She still has about 900 shells left, and she is not going to hesitate to use those. So, I might think that that ship's out of commission. But the AI is going to have a completely different opinion. Olympia's group is about to collide with that lonely DD. Yeah. Where's the light cruiser group? Still somewhat ahead. McDougal? Where the hell are your friends? Drayton? Whoa! And Orlek over there. I have lately seen a lot of bugs with ships not staying in formation. And I'm not exactly sure what caused it, but I'm suspecting that the bug is caused by simply having ships which are trying to do a formation order that they can't execute. So it's like they're trying very hard to stay in formation, but maybe they're following a ship of their own formation. So you have two ships... Oh, flash fire. You have two ships following each other, and maybe that's causing issues. How did I cause that flash fire? Oh, you just got hit by a stray 8-inch. Very That was a very stray 8-inch shell, considering we were firing at the Cressy and we were able to hit the DD 3 clicks away by accident. Uh-huh. Accident. Right. We're just going to send out some random torps here. Tennessee that. Cambridge or Cambridge that. That one there. And you hit this one. If you can. So far, we're still behind on damage, but not too far. I just have to keep a really, really close eye on how many ships they have. And what they have lost. So let me pull up the old pen and paper. They have 5 CAs. They have 5 CLs as well. And they had 4 battleships. I need to have at least 1, 1, and 1 of each alive. I have killed, so far, 1 battleship. Ideally, I would neutralize 2 more, just to mitigate the threat that they can pose. And it looks like the Iron Duke is an excellent candidate just for that. Although you could effectively, according to the mission brief, say that this ship is now out of the fight. There is that. Ah, we're launching torpedoes. Tennessee is still hesitant. Rochester. Also hesitant. I don't know why though, because we have enough lead. We should be able to torp. There we go. Second battleship down. So I can only afford to sink 1 more battleship. Which I will gladly do to ensure that my battleships have less to fear. And that the heavy cruisers might be a lot more aggressive in their approach. Because currently I'm keeping them at range, but they don't necessarily have to be. Do you already have DDs identified? No, almost. So far we're inflicting a decent chunk of damage, it seems, against heavy cruisers, although it's not quite there. Oh, they're running low. Reduced ammo shells. That's excellent. That means that at some point I can sort of start ignoring their heavy cruisers. And they carry 5 of those in the fleet. So, if that works... Ah, they've detected torpedoes, I suppose. Yeah, the Cressy has. If that works, then the heavy cruisers can... Well, they can't quite be considered ineffective. But for my purpose of pushing in, I can more or less ignore them. Range 15. Range 16. You guys are getting quite close. Oh, Jesus, that's a really, really tight formation, boys. Maybe go to normal. Ah, there goes the Blake. Heavy flooding. Did you get torpedoed? No. You accidentally got hit by a 20-inch shell. As we were trying to hit... something else. As we were trying to hit Dreadnought. Right. So I have sunk a heavy cruiser. Sorry about that. You are, well, roadkill. The torpedoes that we still have cruising towards their formation don't look good. Here's one spread. And it looks like the battleship Commonwealth is turning course entirely. Alright, let's see if I can get a bit more aggressive here. Don't torp. We might need those later. Haley, since you don't really have anything better to do, I want you to follow the Div 2. Come on. Follow Columbia. Just fall behind them. Maybe a DD is going to come in handy after a while. McDougal, we're going to push in. Oh crap, flooding on New Jersey. That can cripple her. 5% chance to hit. Against the Dreadnought as it's running away. So, not quite a dreadnought then, huh? Ah! More heavy cruisers. Where are you boys going? Narcissus, Terrible, and something else. Diadem has stopped firing out of ammunition. It looks like the battleships are starting to disengage from this fight. And we're just raining 20-inch death. Maybe hitting a battleship, maybe hitting a destroyer as it gets in the way. Keep it up, boys. Maybe I need to intercept these heavy cruisers here. But I'm actually hoping to hit slash cripple slash sink the Diadem. Now, I think my target should be to keep 8 ships alive. And that means I need to have 1 battleship alive. Probably several heavy cruisers. So let's say 4 heavy cruisers. And at least 1 CL. And that means 2 DDs. By my math. That's the objective. And not necessarily alive, but above that 50% marker. So far it looks like the heavy cruisers aren't capable of inflicting that much pain. Yeah, so far we're doing alright. Battleship status? Oh, Jesus, I was wondering where the fuck my battleship went. New Jersey? I must have misclicked something. What the hell? Why are you... How did I do that? Okay, turn away. Ohio take point. Springfield. Light cruiser group, I need you to follow as you are in the wake of the Ohio. Oh, let me guess, you're stuck? Yeah, you're fucking stuck. Okay. This one too, Orlek. The Orlek is not even close to the McDougal. It's 12 kilometers away. I know I set them to loose formation, but this is something else. Get your butt over here. Scaredy cat destroyer. So you have a decent reason. You took some flooding. You can disengage. Over here, we're still with the heavy cruiser group that we might be able to intercept using the DDs. So let's increase to 27 knots. What the hell happened to you? Serious damage, and especially that flooding is going to kill me soon. I think the game is taking some steps in the right direction when it comes to the ability to control formations, but it still has a way to go. Can we torpedo that battleship? No, not likely. Alright, target Gressie and launch. Just in an aggressive manner, we'll see who just gets hit. Alright, as I was saying, I need to keep 1 battleship alive, 4 heavy cruisers, 1 light, and several destroyers. So these heavy cruisers still all need to get damaged. We're going to be here for a while. This heavy cruiser group, at fast speed, can perfectly intercept the guys over here. Which by that time might be starting to run out of ammo. Unlike my heavy cruisers, which carry a lot of ammo. Tennessee torpedoes the Tetrarch. So far, no return torpedoes that I can tell. Ohio, not too aggressive, buddy. Secondaries against the Tetrarch. Or the other one, the Firefly over there. Minimum bulkheads, yeah, just punch a couple of holes in them. and watch them sink. We also have the light cruiser group here. Ooh, if I start to charge in with these, I could do some damage against the heavy cruisers, but I might also end up sinking a lot of them. Well, that was 3 hits on the battleship. Oh, they're torpedoing the heavy cruisers. Surprise, surprise. There they are. Incoming salvo. Good thing we turned again. This light group is going to have to inflict damage without using a single torpedo. Or I need to keep more of their destroyers alive. Just use the 8-inch guns against the DDs now. God, there's a lot to keep track of in this mission. There we go. Tetrarch is dead and Gadfly is dead. Excellent work. Excellent work. I can focus on this a little more. It's just that 5-inch, or not even 5-inch, 4-inch guns against a heavy cruiser. Not terribly impressive. And those secondary guns are going to start causing issues right about now. Alright, screw it. Formation open. Shannon, target the Narcissus. Sturtevant, target Terrible and Manly. Target Donegal. Donegal taking some damage. Ohio still decent. 80%. Those battleships are running off. That's annoying. Where are your torpedo launchers, Shannon? All the way on the stern. Oh, crap. Full turn. Because we're getting awfully close to that heavy cruiser. And they're constantly changing formations, too. Shannon? Shannon torps are away. But these are fast, aren't they? Yeah, 62.5 knots. It's easy for a heavy cruiser to dodge that. Sturtevant? Is that Dutch or something? Sturtevant? I have no idea how they got that name. For an American ship? I can't fathom. Why, once again, is the Mobile not the leader of this div? Why? Why is the Sturtevant formation leader? Ooh, flash fire on the Shannon. These torpedoes are a complete joke. Mosquito torpedoed. We're going to turn full on starboard. Ceasefire on the torps. Yep, there's the torpedo set. I'm seeing some damage against their DDs, but it's not really too serious yet. The Commonwealth and the Dreadnought are still almost full health. Same cannot quite be said for New Jersey, which, to her credit, managed to pump out a lot of water. Mobility should be good enough to get her back into the fight. Ohio, however, you can take a few more hits. Shit, you're targeting a heavy cruiser. No, you're not. Target the Commonwealth. Just target the entirety of the Commonwealth. My destroyers are having a terrible time fighting these heavy cruisers. Which, I mean, I suppose... Ooh. Oh dear. Which I suppose I could have expected. Steady course. Turn. Turn. Where's that all coming from? Those are exceptionally long-running torpedoes for the British. Because those must have come out from White Bear. That's 15 kilometers. We're 30 clicks out. And we were not maneuvering towards you when you launched those damn things. Ow. Well, that's the Mobile dead. One question that I have with this scenario is how many ships do I have to lose to rejoin or to regain the British Royal Navy? Because it seems like... Oh, this light cruiser, I suppose. It seems like I'm losing almost as much just trying to regain the British. Oh. Right. It's almost like I'm trying to regain as much as I'm losing in ships. Anyway, I have figured out where those torpedoes came from. My heavy cruisers. And I have managed not one, not two, not three, not four. Yeah, sorry, four. Four friendly torps. So I hit the light cruiser. Twice? Yes, twice. Then I was able to... See, this one I just don't understand. The Manly? Oh, God. Oh, no. What happened here was a complete failure of my management, as you guys are probably already furiously typing in the comment section. I was typing or trying to torpedo the heavy cruisers, failed, torpedoes continued on, found the heavy cruisers. Heavy cruisers returned fire at the heavy cruisers with their own torpedo launchers, found my div, and the pincer maneuver backfired in a most spectacular fashion, leading to the destruction of the Mobile and serious damage to the Rochester. And there goes the Mobile. So, your worst threat, if you're sailing in my navy, is usually me. The Olympia is going to have a tough time here. And I know I'm exposing her to a lot more than what she should be. But still. I need to get rid of some of these guys. Another fire. Fortunately, no flash fire. Olympia, let's fall back a little. Damn, that was a really terrible torpedo attack. There goes the Manly. What got you? Heavy flooding. Did you get hit by a torpedo by any chance? No. Just a couple of 9-inch shells, which were very effective. Ohio, I need you to do something for me. I need you to kill the Donegal. Donegal, sorry. Just kill it. 20-inch guns. High explosive. Have some fun. It's going to take a while to swing the guns around, probably. But they're all still functional. What sort of turret speed do you have? Super heavy shells. Electro-hydraulic turrets. Good. There we go. Shells out. 13% chance to hit. Ooh. That landed awfully close to Donegal. We've sunk another DD. Now to sink the Zebra. Fortunately, the heavy cruisers don't need to be concerned about losing too much ammunition. Because I carry a lot. Ohio's good. New Jersey, where are you at? Still pretty far. Why are you selecting a DD? Target the Dreadnought. The battleship called Dreadnought. Just to add to the confusion. There. Donegal got blown up. 20-inch shell. Probably some excessive structural damage. 2,113 damage. They still have a heavy cruiser all the way there in the back. The longer this scenario goes on, the harder it feels to accomplish. Because not only do I need to sink a whole bunch, I also have to ensure that they are severely damaged, but not too severely damaged. That makes sense. I have to make sure that they're damaged enough. Second heavy cruiser killed. Severe damage. Reduce structural to below 50%. I suppose a 20-inch high explosive shell is a bit excessive when it comes to that. Zebra is just not getting killed. Ah, we have one of the DDs finally pushing in. Orlek. The one that was lagging behind so much. Do you have any sort of super sonar? Sonar 1. Torpedoes, 62.5. See, it looks like the Cordelia is suffering from a similar fate. But here's the clinch. Here's the fun part. If I now proceed to torpedo this ship, it suddenly gets woken up from its stupor and goes, oh shit, torps! And it just immediately starts moving. Watch this. Turning the ship to ensure I can launch torpedoes. Torpedoes away. Cordelia should see those fairly soon. Four and a half clicks. You should be able to see those right about now. 3.5. There we go. Cordelia detected torpedoes. Oh snap. And she starts turning and maneuvering. Look at that. How to wake somebody up. Throw a torpedo their way. And watch what happens. Speaking of, I'm also getting torpedoed. Wait, what? Who's leading this div? Olympia is. Why the fuck is Tennessee cutting in front of you then? This scenario is such a mess. And yes, I'm also making a mess of things, but it's a lot to keep track of. Because normally I have to keep track of my own fleet and try not to do too much damage to myself. But now I also, on top of that, have to try and keep friendly ships alive and enemy ships alive. Track how many I've sunk. Track how many I still need to sink. There goes the Cordelia. No. Yes. She got torpedoed. Okay. Unexpected. She saw those coming from quite literally a mile away and did nothing. Juno. Almost dead in the water. Capable of doing 26 knots. Effective speed? 5 knots. If that. Because Mercury and Calliope, which I think are her division mates, are somewhere completely different. Juno is flooding. Good. What the... What? I don't understand what's going on with my formation system at this point. It feels like Olympia just randomly disengaged. So did Rochester. Terrible just started flooding. That's an enemy ship. Oh, you got hit. Okay, perfect. So that's another of their heavy cruisers dead. They only have one here. Narcissus, and then 2 more there. So somewhere I didn't do my maths correctly. Just kill it. This is a huge mess. Then we have the Sturtevant. This is that div that I completely detached because they were going all over the place. The Drayton is the only ship that's, as far as I'm allowed, or as far as I'm concerned, allowed to leave. But then we have Haley. Div 4. Following Rochester and Olympia. Oh, there goes the Narcissus. 20-inch hurts, doesn't it? Yeah, 20-inch hurts. Okay, so that's another heavy cruiser dead. Now, ideally, I would sort of, somewhat, kind of, maybe damage the diadem. But doing that with a 20-inch high explosive shell, as we have seen, is not the best way to go about it. I wonder what 20-inch high explosive does against a battleship. Because I have a 92% chance to pen it. It's just that my chance to hit it is not that good. Here's Tennessee. You know what? We're gonna harass some light cruisers. Alright, let's index. What do they have left? 1, 2... Do they still have 6 light cruisers alive? They started with 7. Oh, sorry, they had 6 heavy cruisers, not 5. So it's natural that they still have 2 left. And they have 7 light cruisers, not 5. So, keeping the whole 4 heavy cruisers alive is not quite going to work. But I still need to devastate those battleships. I'm sticking to my statement that this mission is too difficult. There's just too much to keep track of. So much going on. Now, can we please hit that battleship with a beautiful handcrafted 20-inch salvo? That was not exactly close to the mark. Status on div 4. No, div 3. Heavy cruisers. Oh, what the... Look at this! Tennessee is leading this formation. And Cambridge and Columbia are going, you know what? I'm tired of this shit. I'm gonna do something entirely different. Listen up, you damn ships. It's like the whole AI is working against me now. And that is something that I really find frustrating. Work with me here. What's the Worcester doing here? Light cruiser div. Detach entirely. Heavy cruiser that way. Heavy cruiser Columbia. Join heavy cruiser Cambridge. Div 8, join Div 7. There. You. Go and make yourself useful. Join Div 7. You get to join 2 heavy cruisers on their hunt. Congratulations. Oakland. Join Div 7. Haley. I know that you're one of the Div 2 guys. I need you to join Div 7. So now Div 7 is a bit of a mismatch. We have 2 heavies, 2 lights, and a DD. Perfect. I'll take it, as long as it's controllable. Olympia and Rochester, you guys are allowed to just leave. Because you've taken too much damage, I'm going to pull you out. Tennessee is currently the only heavy cruiser that's actually trying to close the distance. The other ones are doing, well, fuck all. And I still have 2 almost full health battleships that I need to take down to 50% of their health. Mission impossible, this one. Let's just run it at 5 times speed and see how far I can get within the next 5 minutes or so. Accuracy here is not great, but just good enough to get a flooding hit. Which shouldn't upset the Ceres too much. No, she's starting to flood a bit. It's good. Slow her down. Catch up. Now, this heavy cruiser group, Cambridge's newly formed group, please go and make yourself useful. What's the fastest, or what's the slowest ship in this group? The heavy cruisers, only capable of doing 26 knots. Good, we'll stick to 25. Ooh. This is not great for the Ohio. Oh. Well, Mosquito, prepare for death. Because you're about to get killed off pretty heavily if that twin inch would actually hit. Range 11 kilometers to the Dreadnought. Auto selectors, secondaries to the Mosquito. Turn. Oh, what? We hit a torp? Who? The Tennessee? The Tennessee. Hold on. No. No, it was not the Tennessee. It was... One of their destroyers hit their battleship. What? Vanessa. Are you being naughty again, torpedoing Commonwealth and Dreadnought? Or did Dreadnought get a hit because of me? Yeah, Dreadnought got hit because of me. Alright. Alright, we're gonna just continue on. Commonwealth, according to the rules, is out of action, because her buoyancy is lower than 50. Dreadnought could be heading in that direction. Ooh, close. Okay. So effectively, both battleships are out of commission, according to the game rules. They still have 2 heavy cruisers. I need to neutralize 1. Yeah. About that. We're only 40 clicks out. Right. Firing another 20 in salvo with the Dreadnought. Missed. At this point, I don't really care about the rules anymore. I just want to see how many ships I can sink. Calliope. Stuck. Juno. Stuck. Where's Tennessee? Oh, you're still here. Still chasing down that heavy cruiser, or that light cruiser Ceres. You know what, we're gonna just thread our way between these 2 ships and torpedo them both. Why not? Torpedoes away starboard. Ceres detects. It's not too happy about that bouquet of flowers that just got delivered by Tennessee. Turns. And immediately avoids everything. But not the flooding. Port side away from Tennessee. That's 1 heavy cruiser, killing off 1 light cruiser. Time to move on to the next light cruiser. Ohio is still here. Somewhere on the other side of the world. 40 kilometers away. Just imagine how far my fleet is spread out. 40 clicks. That's really substantial. Pelorus is now also getting the stock bug. And is also slowly cowering away in its smokescreen. Right. You know what? I'm going to stop it here, because this whole fight is turning into one big bit of madness. I've been able to torp my own ships. I have been able to apparently flood out Dreadnoughts. I've been blowing up cruisers left, right, and center, but it is just too much for me to keep track of. I like a challenge. I really do, but this is too much. So, hope you guys enjoyed the challenge. If you can actually pull it off, then please make a video of it and upload it. Because I think that the scenario has some merit, but it's just too much to keep track of. And if you could actually set rules in the editor that says, hey, if a ship falls to below 50%, consider it, let's say, a win condition. That'd be great, but you can't. So you have to keep all of this on pen and paper, or you have to keep track of all of this using pen and paper or some other measurement. Anyway, I'm also going to be uploading the other, the other attempt. So you're getting 2 videos, 2 failures of the same scenario. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon for more videos.